Can you believe that this is a model? Check out the amount of wiring. Servos, little motors here, ailerons and flaps all work. The back here as well, also your rudder, and underneath here as well you got a full-on landing gear. What's up everyone, Steve here again from RC Tanks and Trucks 24/7 here with the Agora Models Zero build. It's been a little bit for this, waiting for the stuff to come in the mail, but it is what it is with the current situation in the world. So this is the A6M Mitsubishi Zero. Check out my other videos for this model. It's awesome. It's definitely getting there. This is the last video. I'll leave a little card up there if you want to go check that out. But beautiful quality. It's a mixture of metal and plastic parts. And good thing about it, it's not just glued together. It's hardware fixed. Now, that's what I really like about it. It does weigh a bit, and it also gets, later on in the build, it goes on a stand. It's got like this automated thing. But anyway, let's move on to, I think, step 7 and 8, I believe. So some of the steps are fairly easy, and I don't want this to go for too long. So this is pack number 7. And for example, the first step here, we're going to be just checking the rudder servo motor, that it all works. Don't need to waste our time with that. But here we go, here installing the gearbox for the tail gear and tail wheel. So I'll get all these parts out. And if this is your first time viewing this, the manuals, you download them so you can, put them on your iPad or your phone or any, your computer, or even print it out if you want, and follow them really easy. And you download them from their website. But let's get all this sorted. We'll see how that looks. Nothing too exciting happening here. So let's get to that stage. Some of the stages are only a few steps, and they just take up a lot of room, but they don't actually require you to do much. It shows you what the parts. And the good thing about this particular instruction manual for the Zero, it actually tells you what the parts are for. So for example, in this stage you're attaching the frame components to the main fuselage frame and 3 different sites. So it actually teaches you a little bit about the plane and what parts make up a plane, all that kind of stuff. But let me get down to here, and then we'll move on to this part here. And the good thing about this kit as well, I forgot to mention, gives you good close-ups of different types of screws. So you've got the ones that are going into metal and going into plastic, and it always gives you a spare as well. So you got like 6, but you're only going to need 5, so you're always going to have a spare as well. And if you're thinking, where is this particular kit? Well, you would have built that earlier in one of the other steps. So you always that's why this box has all these parts in it. It's from the other steps that you need moving further down the line when you get to the later stages. But there we go. So that is the actual rear mechanism there, and it's got really nice detail in there as well. So like I said, I'll leave the link up there for the other videos. But yeah, I won't make these too long. Don't want I want you guys to watch and not get too bored. So I'll put these all in and we'll get to the next step. There we go, check out that. And forgot to mention, this brace is pretty thick. What, 1.5 mil stamped plate. And there's all these little components that were made in the previous steps. It's got a little motor in there and the servo and this little arm here that actuates the rear landing gear. So it's pretty cool, isn't it? Next step, so that's that stage. Like I said, it's not much to it. Next one, attaching the frame components. So just more stuff that's going to be going to this center bar or center beam there in the rear fuselage. Nothing too exciting, so yeah, let's get that all sorted. There we go there, fair bit going on, but you can see there's a lot of electronics. There's a small little motor there, there's another one there, so that's 2 motors, 2 servos on this side, and this is like where you plug it all in, but it's under the bottom, you don't see it. As you can see, there's a lot going on here, but yeah, I didn't want to show you that. It's fairly monotonous, but not too exciting. But check out this. You would have seen in the other videos where I showed you the flaps and ailerons, and check this out. It even has, like, because it's moved, it has not a bushing, has a little ball bearing that sits down here when it all goes together. So as you can see, there's a lot to it. So this is the rudder assembly here, and just finishing it all off. But as you can see, it's a really, really thought out model, and obviously it's indicated in the price, but you definitely see it's worth it when you look at how intricate it is. So it's getting there. Actually, this is one of the rear stabilizers. So then we moved on to the rudder. There we go there. It's really nice. It's got this little separate piece here. What's that, like is that like a trim for the rudder? Same as the trims for the elevators and stuff like that. Or flaps. Not too sure, but there we go. And now this piece is going to be pushed into this main metal section right there. Coming together. It's really hard to show on camera because there's so many little small pieces. But I've done other parts in other videos where I've done show you how it goes much more in depth. But we're kind of just breezing through this one so we can get these all together and jump on to the next pack too. There we go there. Pretty complex, but as you can see, we installed this little servo arm. Activates the rod here for the rudder. But that's kind of just sitting in there loosely. If you let it go, it'll just fall out. So I'm sure there'll be something in there that's going to hold it on. And I think one of the last stages for this particular pack, is this assembly limit switch for the display pedestal. So as you can see, that's that. Pretty easy. So we'll get that sorted, and then we can actually go to the next pack as well in this video, so we can kill two birds with one stone. So here's those two limiting switches that are on the base. So as I said before, this kind of flies. It does like a sequence. It's pretty cool. So it kind of lifts up, tracks the landing gear, and does like a little sequence. So this obviously has got these limiting switches that all incorporate into that cool little movement. But there we go, and that's going to go onto the base. There's a bracket here, and that's going to be complete. Then we can go to actual pack 8 and get that all sorted as well. But let me get all this done and I'll show you how it looks. Alright, so that was pack 7 up to pack 8, stage 62. Now we're going to, in the original or the previous step, we put or half together the right elevator. Now we're going to be doing the same step for the left, and it's exactly the same thing. So we'll just skip past all that. But like I said, it's really easy. We'll get up to this stage where we need to install them actually onto the airframe itself. So the left and right will be installed, and that'll be that'll start to come together. It'll look like a plane. There we go. Left and right are both on, and the servo is hooked up. Check out that. So in the previous step, when hooking up this rudder, this little servo horn I had flicked up the wrong way, so the little rod kept on slipping out. So learn from my mistake. This I had up higher. I had to just flip it around, and that's it. Now it stays in there. So you see that little servo here. Left and right activates that, and the one on this side activates these ones. How cool is that? There you go. So pretty cool. Now next up we're going to be going on to step or stage 63, and it's going to be putting together the it's called the pedestal assembly. So it's basically the stand. So not much after that, not much too exciting with that one. So we'll get that sorted, and I'll put a few more little accessories on this part here, and we'll see in a bit. Now, I don't know about you, but this looks like the world's most advanced static model in my opinion. Look at all those cables and wires. And check out this center circuit board. So it's going to be powering everything here. You've got these servos, your small little motors, got your servos in your wings, the lights. It's looking great though. So now we need to backtrack a bit. We need to, so this is a circuit board we attached just to this center section. Now we need to take off this part here that we already did, and because the brackets holding it down are underneath this little cockpit area, so we need to take that off, and then we need to put this new one down on there basically and connect all the wires. But yeah, let me get this sorted, take this off, fix it down there. These are the hardware fixing places that you need, and then that should all be kind of like a one unit, and that's how it should look. So you take off that cockpit, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth screw just there holding it all down. So next step, plugging all the wires. So you get that kind of spaghetti wiring all into one neat little part, and you can put the cockpit down, and hopefully it all fits back together. Well, there we go guys. That was a bit of fussing around, but you know, just a bit of cable management. I couldn't stuff it all underneath here because I was having trouble getting this cockpit to sit true, but I managed to do that as it is. But I'm sure I'll be able to fit that in the fuselage, sorry, the skin, no problems at all. And good thing about it, it might look like spaghetti, but each of these, so it says here, H2 and H3. The corresponding digits are on the wire as well, so it's just about plugging it all in, and that's it. Look at that. Can you believe that this is actually a model? Looks more like an RC. But that's that step. Now, got a pretty easy step here, the slider assembly. So this is the base that's going to sit on. So we'll do that. It's pretty big bit. Same as this one. Nothing too exciting. Let's smash through this and we'll see how it looks. Now this is pretty interesting. This is the lifting device. So the plane will sit on top of here. That's why it's got this clear tube to kind of make it look like it's flying. And the switches that we made earlier, they're there, see? So it's going to raise and do like its own little show type of thing. So that's why those little electronic stoppers are there, the switches, to tell it when to stop. And then you also have the gearbox here as well. Simple little brush motor, 3-stepper gears up to this main ring. And that's it. And then this part just encapsulates it all and puts it all together. But it's very interesting, and what I noted as well, just got a snap fit, there we go, so that's the gearbox done. You've also got a controller as well, so you know when it's on your table you can show your friends and stuff like that, but you don't need to activate nothing, you just use a controller to get it all going. So that's pretty sick. Now the next step is we have attaching the underside panel for the left wing, a few screws there, and it's nearly at the end of this particular pack. It is definitely getting there, so let's get the underside panel for that left wing on and see how it looks. Well, there we go there. Jumped a few steps. The left and right underside of the wing is all done. Check out that detail. For all you rivet counters out there, imagine if you put a bit of like a nice wash on this when it was finished. It'll just soak up into those panel gaps that look fantastic. But that is that done. Also had, so this is the base and it's quite large, so that's all timber as well. We connected that, and there was another set of these switches, limiting switches that we need to build as well. Apart from that, that was it. With the left wing, I believe the side of the fuselage came with it as well, but we're not doing that in this step. That's on for the next pack, so I have to wait until we get that, but that was a pretty in-depth build. I'm trying to do a little bit quicker because a lot of people aren't watching to the end, so yeah, see how we go. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're interested in this, leave a link down below. If you like the video, give it a good old thumbs up, and see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.